Tonight's big story, elected officials are looking to give themselves a 4.5% pay bump in Polk County. They already earned six figures.
The agenda item scheduled for discussion today at the Board of Supervisors meeting, but it ended up being tabled. Local 5's chief political correspondent Rachel Droz was at that meeting. And Rachel, why did they hold off on voting?
Well, Jack, one supervisor tells me it's because they're still working through the rest of their budget. The county's compensation board recommended that 4.5% hike, but the official I spoke to says he doesn't think they'll have room in the budget for that. Polk County Supervisors delaying a vote Tuesday to increase their salaries and the salaries of other elected officials. Iowa law requires counties to have compensation boards to suggest annual pay rates.
There are non-elected officials that determine the compensation based upon the work level that's required and the averages of other jobs or other like positions.
Right now, Polk County supervisors make almost $123,000 a year. The compensation board recommended to increase that by 4.5% next year. According to the Iowa State Association of Counties, supervisors across Iowa make an average of $36,000 per year. Chairman Matt McCoy says setting salaries is a balancing act. They need to be competitive, but also mindful of tax dollars.
In order to attract people to run for these positions and take on the challenges, you have to compensate them.
Take a look at this. Supervisors had their biggest pay increase 3 years ago. They got an almost 5% raise. Their lowest since then came just last year when they got a bump just under 3%. As for next year, McCoy doesn't think the board will be approving the recommended 4.5% jump.
I expect it to be on par with where we were last year, probably. I've not talked to all my colleagues, but I'm guessing that most of them are going to say somewhere in that range.
Now, Polk County supervisors in Iowa are full-time county employees, and the county has a much bigger population than others in the state. Supervisors plan to bring this issue up again in a couple weeks. Jack, back to you.
All right, Rachel, thanks a lot. Data from the Iowa Workforce Development shows on average, the average Iowan makes about $46,000 a year. In the Des Moines Metro, the average worker brings home about $52,000 per year.
We posted the initial report this morning, and it got a lot of attention on Facebook. We have a few of the comments that we found here. Penny says, quote, elected officials should not be able to give themselves raises. It should be voted on at the polls the way they were elected. Now, that's the recurring theme of most of the comments that we received. However, Chad disagrees. He says, quote, if you want the job, go for it. Everyone deserves a raise. Thanks for sharing your comments with us. You can reach out anytime on social media or email us at news@weareiowa.com.